Thanks for stopping by, everyone. My name is Jeff, and what I want to talk about in this video is Canopy Growth's 1-year price prediction, okay? I've made a few videos like this, got some requests to do one about Canopy Growth. So guys, keep in mind, like always, this is just kind of for fun. We're doing a little 1-year forecasting, kind of get a pulse, kind of get an answer from everybody that watches this video. So go down to the comment section and tell me, what price do you think Canopy Growth will be trading at in a year from now? And of course, I will put my answer down in the comments section and I will have it pinned. Now, I am still extremely bullish on Canopy Growth. I think they had a great earnings report, but there's a little bit of confusion surrounding this company right now, and we're gonna kind of get into that in this video. Going back to October, guys, Canopy Growth traded up to $56 per share until the entire market tanked. Pretty much all the stocks lost a bunch of value, ticked down as low as $25, and has recovered so nicely through the month of January and February. And then back here at the end of January, Canopy Growth was trading back over $50, and it has appeared to lose a little bit of its momentum in the month of February. And then currently now, it is trading around $47.05. But I guess there is some analysts that are starting to feel like Canopy Growth is a little overvalued. So back on the 15th of February, they came out with their earnings report. You know, their fiscal revenues were up 282% year over year. They did report some pretty big operating and net income losses, but that is very, very common still for these companies. As a matter of fact, Aurora Cannabis actually had a bigger operating loss than Canopy Growth did. And then their 10,102 kilograms of cannabis sold was up 334% on the year. So my takeaway from this earnings report was very, very positive. You know, do keep in mind, this is a company with about a $16 billion market cap, and perhaps analysts can come out and point to other companies in the space and say, hey, Canopy Growth is just getting a little bit overvalued here at these levels, that we would like to see that price come down a bit before we want to buy more of the stock. And then shortly after the earnings report, guys, 3 big investment firms come out and actually downgraded Canopy Growth. You know, GMP Securities came out on the 19th and downgraded Canopy to a hold. Seaport Global come out and initiated coverage on Canopy Growth at neutral. And then on the 25th, of course, we covered this the other day in my video, Jefferies came out and initiated coverage on Canopy Growth at a hold rating. Now again, I still find this company to be very, very investable. You know, we are still just on the ground level of the legalization in Canada, and these companies are building and expanding quite a bit. But maybe, just maybe, we want to wait for a bigger dip in this stock price to actually start buying in. I think what analysts are trying to say is avoid buying it at 50. You know, maybe wait and see if it dips under 40 again, and maybe get between that $35 to $40 range before you start buying shares again. Okay, and now let's talk about this right now. So Canopy Growth has recently brought Martha Stewart in, and she's being brought in as an advisor to improve their product line. To me, like I said, let me present both sides of this to you before you go and make a judgment on this. Is that I can see where that could be a very big benefit to a company, because Martha Stewart has such a long history in being an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, and it seems like a lot of the things that she gets involved with, guys, really do seem to take off. But the other side of this, and I'm sure most of you are aware of this, is that Martha Stewart does have a history of insider trading. As a matter of fact, she even spent time in prison for that. So when I heard news that Canopy Growth was partnering with Martha Stewart, guys, I didn't really, I couldn't gauge a proper reaction to it. It was more confusing to me than anything, because the first thing that goes through my head is her insider trading background, and how could a publicly traded company attach themselves to somebody, you know, with an extensive background in insider trading. One thing I thought about is that perhaps Canadians just don't understand American culture enough and understand how cutthroat American investors are. You know, we're all chasing that dollar, and that your typical American investor will throw loyalty right out the window if it's not making them money. But if you guys aren't familiar with this story, you know, I'm just going to kind of summarize it real quick so you have some level of background. But in 2001, Martha Stewart Stewart came out, sold all her shares of this biotech company, and the name of that was I'm Clone. Okay, now this was 2 days before the stock fell 16% after it was publicly announced that the FDA had not approved their primary pharmaceutical products. And so by selling her shares in the company prior to the announcement and the subsequent drop in the stock's value, she avoided a loss of around $45,000. And she was not the only one who benefited from this quick sale. You know, the CEO of that company also ordered the sale of his extensive shares in the company, and that was a $5 million stake to be exact, prior to the news being made public. But basically, she ended up lying to investigators and ended up spending around 5 months in prison for obstruction of justice. And she also had to settle with the SEC on a separate but related case, which she paid a fine of 4 times the amount of the loss she avoided plus interest. So that came to a whopping total of $195,000. So just keep in mind, like I said, when I heard news that Martha Stewart was partnering with Canopy Growth, I was just very, very confused and not really quite sure where I stood on that, because I think it can be a very good branding move, and it can be a move to transition them further and give them an upper hand, you know, with some of their products. And at the same time, I also know the nature of American investors. You know, nobody wants to see their company that they're invested in, you know, partnering with somebody who has a background of fraudulent stock activity. But anyways, guys, with all that said, nonetheless, I am still very bullish on Canopy Growth. I still think the growth story is there, and they definitely showed up on this last earnings report. But I think for now, I'm probably going to wait off and see if the stock dips down a little further. Of course, back during December when it was trading in the 20s, obviously that was time to pick up some shares of Canopy Growth. But at any rate, I'm going to go down to the comment section. I will post a comment and give you my opinion where I think Canopy Growth will be trading at in 1 year. So please drop a like on this video, guys, and I appreciate you watching this so much, and have a great day.